Go. 733. Have our previous day high up here. This is Wednesday. And it's Thursday. Wait, actually, sorry, my bad. That's not. This is previous day high up here. That's what I meant. These are just relative equal highs. Yeah, 730 open up here. So I'm gonna put the 730 opening price on real quick. This. Okay. No, that's recording. All right. Let's make this a little bit better. I guess we can make that 10. All right. Man, this could easily be a choppy day. We have hella news once again. Well, I ain't gonna say hella news, but we do got let me look it up real quick. This is the news we have for this morning at 8:15. FOMC member Hammock speak, and then we got PPI news at 8:30. So thing is, we have to wait, especially having news at 8:15. But here's what I'm gonna do. I'm paying attention to either these highs or these highs. I like for it to get crazy and still for yesterday's price action. That daily wick midpoint, and then we have that buy stops resting below. All right, and then we have the event horizon here and then event horizon here. So if we decide to come up here and then want to retrace to aim for these lows or previous day low at 8:30, and we can do that. Look for that as well. Or either one of these levels. Once we get to either one of these, we can show some type of sell-off or that we want to get weak, then I'll be looking to get interested if the opportunity provides one. Again, we do have these relative equal lows in here under the new day opening gap. Then we have more liquidity, obviously, that we can possibly target, but I'm more focused on this low, and then we have this yesterday 8:30 news candle low. So if we decide to like drop down, take out these lows, and then start trying to show bullish strength, then I'll look to take that as well. But I'm gonna put these opening range levels on real quick. This is the high, and that's the low. Then I'm gonna expand this over. Let me make it this. I just want to go in 1 minute and see what's going on. Quick. Open lower. So thinking now. Let's see. Got this and -1. Yeah, -1 lines up perfectly with these buy stops up here. So if we decide to want to run all the way up here, that's fine. We can also run to the 0.5 and then also try to retrace, which in a sense lines up with this minor buy stops up here. So in a sense, we don't have to push for these highs, at least for the pre-market. We could simply just come for this and then get a nice retrace to then possibly like later on and come up. But who knows? Let's just see. That is the idea. So I guess I'm gonna like have to wait here and uh have to wait and see what the market gonna do. I like how we getting bullish right here. We ran into this 15-minute inefficiency, this bullish inefficiency, and it's inversion a little bit. I don't think we tapped the inversion, but we did tap this in a bullish inefficiency. So I mean, I like for it to run up in here. So I'm gonna put an alert. Cause I do have to make a quick call, but I'll be right here watching. So just give me a second, and I'll be right back. So we did take out that opening range high, which is a 15-minute high. I mean, all in all, we don't have to push up there. We did take out this high right here that I was watching while I was away. Boom, took out that. And then go down to the 1 minute. I want to see if we got our 730 first presented fair value gap. I could use this one, the volume imbalance. I really like this one here. I mean, this one's okay, I guess. But this one right here. I mean, I'll use the one with the volume imbalance, honestly. Because it's right lining up with the midpoint. So I do like that, actually. So I'm going to use this. And realistically, if there's been no news, this could be an entry, but I want to wait until after the news, honestly, because anything can happen, especially during a news situation. And we've pretty much been in the same area since yesterday, so in this case, I'm gonna wait for some high probability, which in a sense this is required for a buy stop to be taken or the opening range high. Um, or any really 15-minute buy stop liquidity. So whether it's minor, like these, or these as well, these are all minor buy stops, but they can still work within the model. This is the major buy stops from yesterday, which is the previous day high. That's alarm, getting ready for 8 a.m. And I'm gonna delete this alert. Hmm. 7:30 opening price. First presented for value gap is up here though. That's where that's gonna be. Within there, see. This look like we might end up trying to push down for yes at least. Yeah, it's looking like it's just giving a move right now. Uh-huh. Realistically, this is another entry opportunity to get in as we have this displacement pullback into a premium right? And then we got our drop down below. So if we would have got a trade into here, that is missable. But I'm not looking to trade right now up until the news is all over with because I don't want to get chopped in nothing. Um, of course, I can catch a setup beforehand, but I also don't want to get caught in a range where it's gonna stall out until like news. Like you got your first trade here after you got this push down, pull back at the opening range high right here, just a little mohawk, and then we have another displacement. So you could have got in right in here or as soon as it closed underneath the 730 first presented. I mean, would have dealt with some heat, but if you had your stop above this minor high or the wick midpoint or even this high here, you would have been fine. Took out that, took out that. Okay. Give me a sec. Okay. So essentially, this trade would have been going like this. It's not even hindsight. This is the model that I trade, but again, I'm being very cautious with the whole news and things of that nature. I would have preferred my stop to go there, but at wick midpoint, and then oh yeah, nah, that's a too large of a stop right there. So I wouldn't be able to do that. Probably have to do the fair value gap, which is also doable. But for me, I don't go above 50 handles or no, yeah, this would have been perfect. What am I talking about? Hold up. Yeah. I was right. Okay, I was looking at the ticks, but um, yeah, this would have been it right here. Probably 1 to 3. It's actually playing out nicely, unlike how yesterday was. Um, this trade could have probably been done before news, but you just never know, honestly. It's always hindsight. So, well, not always, but like, you know what I mean? Like, things like this could be hindsight. Don't want to rely on that, especially if it's like news around the corner. You could always obviously get in before the news, or if you're on a live account, you don't necessarily have to worry about it, but at the same time, I still would. I don't like trading around news. But so far, good movement. So far, good movement. The next week though, it's gonna be a lot better in terms of like news and it being at 8:30. Because Monday and Tuesday was good, but um, it was just really slow. Wednesday and Thursday, or no, not Thursday, because today Thursday, but yesterday CPI day was awful. It just took out both sides of the range. If you can see that in yesterday live stream. And then today we got FOMC member speaks at 8:15, then we have the 8:30 news. So um, yeah, that's where we just wait. And right here, you can either have your stop trailed. I would personally have it trail to here. That's how I would manage it. Until we create a new high within this range and a new low. But it needs to be a distinctive pullback too, though. Yeah, it says a 1 to 2 though, so you could have taken it here, or if you want to hold for the entire profit, which is at 1 to 3, but you could get a 1 to 4 out of this more than likely. So depends on how you want to do it. If you got two contracts on, you just take a partial at a 1 to 2, and then let the rest run, and then like stop at break even. However you want to manage it. But for me, this is how I would manage it, because I would want to capitalize on the entire move here, while also taking the partial. So that news is in red folder. It's 8:30, but still. When the FOMC member is speaking in the morning, especially right before 8:30, things things can get weird. Especially it's being August too, and we already in a choppy range from yesterday. So it's like, is it the most high probability um pre-market session? No, not really. It's like, well, if it's not the high probability session, do you want to take a trade on it? We can take read it, go watch and learn. That's the route I want to go down. I always have to place a trade. So okay. I mean, getting closer to like the 8:15, you can tell now it's like, if you ain't take that 1 to 2 or take a partial, then hey, you could be dealing with trouble. It could be good. You never know. But you just gotta have a little trust in your setup. That's all it takes. But I'm gonna get rid of that. But we can outline it based off what we have in here. And for this to probably reach the current new day opening gap high, we got about 5 minutes until he speaks. And there we go. Trend on stop, or the trend on stop to around this area, or no, just moving my stop to break even. So but this is kind of like how yesterday formed. Like, could have got a setup, but he probably more than likely would have got like trailed out or some bullshit. And that's the type of stuff I just don't want to be a part of. I'm trying to be a part of like clean delivery. And if there's 8:30 news, then well today, like for example, if it's 8:15 news, like yesterday I was trying to get in before the 8:30 news, but obviously nothing shaped up. So right here, I probably would have just exit out just because created a little order block here, which isn't a bad thing, but we heading into that news, so really don't know which direction it's gonna go in. So therefore, probably just exit out here and just take read the rest to see where it goes if I were to get in this. And we came down and hit this point 5 as well. See that? So not that it can't go down still, but um, it's definitely worth keeping note of. Like things of that nature can happen. So as soon as you exit, boom, this probably would have start going your way. Or if you left your stop above the midpoint of that wick or the high, yeah, you would have never been stopped out and be working your way here into profit. So it's a lot of different ways you can kind of manage your setup. It all depends on who it is, who you are. You want to be aggressive, you want to play a little safe, you know what I'm saying? So yeah. Um, I mean, if we take out this low inside this new day opening gap and try to get a pump, that's also gonna be fine. But um, realistically, I do think news or 8:30 will probably try to come for that previous day 8:30 low or even this one. And if we do that, then I'm definitely leaning towards the bullish side. I mean, overall, the daily is bullish regardless, but really aiming to look for these areas up here. Now, we might not want to reach that area yet because yesterday we did take out this buy stops here. So we might try to, um, you see, so we might try to come down and reach for these lows. We also have some equal lows in here. So we really have to see how far this wants to pull back. And we can really get a projection on that. So maybe once it reached this 8:30 low, here's what I'm watching right here. So if we get down here, we get down here, take out this previous day 8:30 low. Let me show you real quick. Let me just change it to this one. which is an hourly inversion fair value gap. Yeah, we can look at it. Yeah, that looks a little better. We're just gonna keep it like that. And then we have this equilibrium here. So if it wants to drop down, take out this, take out either one of these, and then decide to want to push up, hey, that's fine with me too. We'll see. We just gotta see how strong 830 opens up. This is the current news candle. It might not be doing much, but you never honestly know what it's gonna do. I don't know. I don't really know who this person that speaking is. I don't know how much of an impact he have on the market, but it seemed like he has a zero impact. So all in all, if I had taken this setup, I would have had no issues. But with these prop firms and things of that nature, you have to worry about news candles and whatnot. I mean, it wasn't a red folder, but still. You see how weak it's getting right now. It's still heading down though. It's still heading down. I'm gonna get some water real quick. So all in all, did finally reach this objective right here, this new day opening gap, along with this -0.1. So we could start seeing some type of retracement back up to the upside. And since we took out that buy stops, I'll move this one to here. And then let me just change this. And now, let's see if we can get some higher prices. Let's see something. What we got. Got that low taken out right here. We got the other side of the objective taken. So if we're gonna be bullish from here, this is where I'd like to see us start pushing up. Now this candle here also don't have a top wick. So we'll see if we take out this low, which, well, we did take out a low, but I mean, like, if we start pushing back up, and if we only stay below the midpoint of this bearish inefficiency, then we could see a continuation down. And if we see a continuation down, then I will look to take that to these lows down in here. Right, but that'll be the new 15-minute, which would be a news candle, so we'll just have to wait after that. But I do like the delivery that we had after these buy stops were taken. Although I was a little busy during this time, but it's fine. We got 5 minutes. It's bouncing right off of that negative. You see that last one, boom, and then it hit that new day opening gap high. So this news might try to push. 8:30 opening up here. Um, oh, that's this. So I don't even think we reach equilibrium yet. Yeah, we ain't reached that yet. But if we do decide to drop down around 70s, 29, 76, 750 would be equilibrium point. Then we have sell side just below that, and then that inversion, when our inversion inefficiency that we pointed out. So either we'd be bullish from here, and we could do like another double sweep side, so we can go boom all the way up here during the news, or if we get there and then drop and then follow up with another continuation move. So make sure it is. Oh, look at this buy stops, smooth and little highs in here. One more minute to news. This would have been the trade here if you didn't exit out there. I mean, I would have, but this would have ended up playing out all the way, which is nice. 8:30 opened up right there, and this is the crazy right here. See, I thought it was gonna get a little crazy like this at 8:15. You never really know though, but so that's the 8:30 open. Now we left those buy stops, left these equal highs. So we might try to drop down more into, if I go to the 15-minute, might try to drop down a little more. And hopefully we do get some type of explosiveness somewhere. But if not, and we want to continue like down in here, then yeah, I'll be definitely looking for longs plays in here. But currently, we inside of this chop. So like, if you look at it like this, it's just like not the best. Like, yeah, we could have caught this little small play in here, but for me, ideally, it's like it's honestly not worth it. Like, I want to see some real external liquidity taken. Like, if it was this, or not external, but like some clean buy stops like this. Like we have London high right here. So and this lined up with the 0.5. So that would have been clean. But this is also an A plus setup too right there that we didn't take only because of the news. But now we should be good. So I'm gonna get rid of these 0.5 levels and then just focus on the opening range levels and the buy stops and sell stops. I have to clear that up a little bit. Let's see, is it going to chop inside this 830? Daily is relatively equal high. So if we come up here again, and then I like how we're leaving these lows right here. So I don't, honestly, I can probably see another short play opportunity again. In the meantime, before 9:30 at least. That's what I would like. I'm okay missing the first half of the setup. Now, now that we're in a clear from everything else right now. Now I want to see if these buy stops want to get ran. Patiently waiting. We could get some like reactions inside of here and then trade back down. But I mean, if that's the case, like we come back down, sweep out of these lows, right? And then let's see what we got 17 minutes until this candle close. Or not 17, but seven. Yeah, I thought it says 7 minutes and 41 seconds for this candle to close. 15 current 15-minute candle. So maybe the macro will help us out. Maybe it'll give us some delivery. So we're gonna see how this one to play out. Being a little bit on the slow side right now. That's okay. That's okay. That's okay. That's okay. We don't give a shit. Do what I say. Yeah. Do what I say. Yeah. Yeah. Do, do, do what I say. Okay, okay, bitch, get up on my baby. Alright, look like we hitting the low end of that opening range level. And we at the 8:30 open. Right there on that news candle. So this could be a little bit tough to try to reach up for here. But anywhere at these key levels is where we can look for this move, this sell-off. Let me check out ES though. Oops, that's the XY. ES. Uh, huh. Alright. Wait, let me put let's see. ES didn't even look that bad either. Once we got this push down, pull back, displacement. I mean, you wouldn't have got trigger if you was looking for an entry inside of this. But if you got in on a closure right there, that would have been decent. Would have stopped just above the target, the low, but NQ reached the low before ES did. So therefore, this is why sometimes you have to pay attention to the rejection blocks instead of just the low or even the midpoint of the candle, like right in there. So sometimes the low for ES, especially since NQ is the father of this shit, I like to look at NQ as the fucking wife, or no, NQ the husband, ES the wife. Damn near. It's always, majority of the time, NQ always reach the objective first, but ES is, it tend to want to catch up sometimes, but not in this case really, because ES is at all-time highs, which means it is, the wife is doing a little bit better right now. But you can see how it moves compared to NQ. It still can give you a setup, but you just have to know when to take it, obviously. Like this would have been perfect right there if you got in on a close instead of waiting for the fair value gap. But regardless, we got relative equal lows there. So I'd like to see ES try to come back for that. Maybe take out this 8:30 candle high, that 8:30 news candle, and then probably get a nice reversal. But we really took out this side of the range, which is buy stops. Then we have equal lows. So ES is kind of in a weird situation. We do have some lows in here. The new day opening gap. We got the midnight opening price. So we definitely could see a trade back down in here. Maybe once we take out some highs over here. We have that. Uh, put this one here for sake. Now this is a 15-minute buy stop, so we don't have to actually come back for this. Now that I realized, we actually did take out that. And this came back to the opening range high, so this might try to fall short and catch up and take out the lows. And then NQ is just reacting off of that lower quadrant level, and then pushing down again. So we might, we got 1 minute to that 15-minute candle close, and we can really see what's the game plan here. But really, this is a big ass consolidation, so I'm not really too worried about trying to catch a move. All week, no trade. We had that minor opportunity, but I did not want to get caught in no range. Getting caught in a range before news would be the worst thing, especially if you like got in perfect entry or whatever, and then you just sitting in drawdown and news coming and it does something like that to you. That won't be happening to me. Tell you that much. But um, let's see what the macro do. Maybe we're gonna want to take out the lows first and then try to displace up higher, which I don't mind targeting these buy stops in these other levels since the higher time frame levels are bullish. We just gotta wait for something very, very nice because don't want to get caught up in the chop right now. You can see how we having this again. And like if you look at 8:30 from yesterday, where is it? Right here. Like we had that setup, but if you had gotten in, would have got stopped out, even though it was perfect. And yeah, just not worth it. Just really not worth it. Taking anything before news. But we even had this large candle, 829 candle before anything. So it's like, do you really want to take a risk on that? And then it's like trading in this to me, not a little bit. Although like this did look a tiny bit better. But again, if it's 8:15 news and then 8:30, I don't want to play with that. This might not even give anything right now. It's just sitting in here again. Letting it do its thing, letting it do its thing. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I wonder if I can play. Oh, I gotta download. We're just reacting off of that level, that point 25 level again. It's the macro time, so let's see if it's gonna make a move. Or maybe the 9 a.m. open. 9 a.m. candle open will do something as well, which is still part of the macro. 850 to 910. It could work. We just gotta wait and see. But give me a sec. All right. So came up to the midpoint of that 730 candle, which is the low end of, well, 50% is at the low end of the 730 first presenting for value gap. And then look how we're trading from that. Um, do I like that enough to put on a trade if anything shapes up to the downside? Not really. Because it's still, now it's back in within this. We took out the 830 candle low. Now I want to see if we can come for that 830 candle high. And do we expand from there? We also have this bullish inefficiency here that can send price higher. But that could also get inverted and do a whole bunch of stuff. So let's go ahead and wait for that. And since there was 8:30 news, might extend the time a little bit to like 10 a.m. But we should see. And since we did take out some liquidity down below, I also don't mind getting in if we get above the 730 first percentage at this continuation move. Actually, no, I'll just take rate this. I'll take rate this, see if we can get to this. It's the real setup I'm looking for. I want to see if that 830 candle high can get taken and then these lows. Not that we can't expand up here or anything, but let's see what DXY is dropping. ES is pushing up to the high again. It's inside that 730 first percentage. So not looking bad. Not looking bad at all. Let's look at this. We both reacting off of that 730 first percentage fair value gap so far. So all in all, this bullish inefficiency might become weak. This just might become weak. Still chopping around right here. Gonna see if the 9 a.m. candle wants to manipulate, which would be the new hourly, to then come down and take out all these, which is relatively lows inside the current new day opening gap. So for me, that is a great draw to aim towards once we reach either one of these buy stop levels. Not a bad plan. 9 a.m. opened up. There we go. All right, buy stops taken. There we go. We're still within the macro, so definitely liking this now. Definitely want to see if, I mean, either we're gonna continue to this one, to this level, or we just reverse here and try to aim for the low. So we just gotta wait until we get what we want to see. I mean, if we're gonna use this level here as a continuation, so if we come inside of here, since we did take out these lows, and we could be waiting for later, if we decide to drop back in here, stay in the upper half, let me just get rid of this one real quick, and then I'll put this low on to that high. So if we come back to that 0.5 area right here, dropping down and then decide to go, and then, or like showing like a continuation move, then yeah, I'll go ahead and stick to the longs, targeting possibly all the way up there if given. It might not even give it to me, but it is what it is. Could do. Now we just gotta wait until we see that turnaround point. Should be good. Like how I reached that 0.5. Now, if we get bearish from here, touching that, then we'll see. Like change. Rotating. Let me get we made it to the event horizon now. Or not the event horizon, but the negative -0.5 standard deviation from this opening range. Then we have the -1. So if we reach up here, that's even better. We must just start getting that displacement though soon if we're gonna be going bearish, right? Because 5 minute touch that wick there, and then we also took out these buy stops over here, but we closed above it. Let's see how the 15 minute did that. We got 7 minutes to see how that closed. We also have this order block right there. We also have these highs over here. So, but previous day high is up here, which I do feel like NQ would want to reach for. So now that we took out these lows, this might just be set for a continuation move higher. This could even just drop down in here and then perform a setup to the upside, and I'll gladly take that to either one of these levels up here. Simple. Let's figure this out real quick. Pushing up there. Ain't really giving no fallback right now, but it is what it is. I think when there's ever 8:30 news, I might trade the PM session. Give it a little like hour, like 1:30 to 2:30 or something like that. And if I'm in a trade, I can hold it. I might end up like not trading past 9:30. Probably could see what it does, but it's more than likely gonna get crazy for real. Yeah, we taking our time here, waiting for 9:30. That's more than likely what it's doing. So what do you do? Nothing. What do you do? Nothing. Like, again, this could just come down here and then bounce up right off of like these key levels aside. Because as you see, we showing no real displacement to the downside. Unless we get one here soon, because we do have this push down. We have this pullback reaching that zero point 0.5 area. But if we look at the 5 minute, we have this large 5 minute inefficiency. We have this one, and this one down here. Okay, so this is definitely leaning more towards bullish. right? So gonna use this as a liquidity sweep and then boom for a continuation to target these highs. Um, ran into that 5 minute inefficiency. Now, I think like now I just be so confident it's gonna like open up, drop down in here, and then just skyrocket, bro. Just got a feeling it might do some shit like that, but we'll see. Got 10 minutes, so this might just open up higher, take out that. Might just expand, but we'll see. Oh no, that's set up here. That bar right there. Once we got a closure above it, would have never been in drawdown. I mean, would have been a tiny bit of drawdown if you got right in on a close, but would have reached the objective here. I mean, wouldn't been like crazy much, but yeah, around like that. But we have to risk this. So not really much, especially if you got, let's say, could possibly go in here with like a couple contracts. Yeah, that's still not much. Yeah, a little boom boom, but it's all good. I'm actually not gonna trade the PM session. I'll probably just extend the trading time a little bit. Yeah, it's definitely slowing down for 9:30. But I'll give it some time because of the 8:30 news. I'll get rid of that at least. Get that out of here. Waiting for 9:30. It's waiting for 9:30. I extend it to like I extend it to 10:15 just to really see, but I really don't think it's gonna give much. 1 minute to this 9:30 opening bell. I could put the midnight opening price on, but midnight opening is at here. Uh, let's see where this opening range started. In here. So right underneath that 0.25 level. So if we can come in here and then maybe we don't want to fill the whole entire range, but maybe we come inside of here, run into that new day opening gap, and then decide to run higher. That is a possibility. But let the opening bell do its thing. But really, we have the larger 1, 2, 3. But look how it formed. It's just not worth it. So, yep, come right to that level. Now we might just start running away. Or could just form a continuation model and drop down to these lows to that. But we might just wait for that. We gotta give the opening range some time to build and do what it gotta do. Here we go. Took out that buy stops. I don't say having a we had a limit. I knew we were gonna do some shit like that. Do that and then right in there. I'm about to trade that. Nah, that is. I mean, not that you can't get some good trade through it, but you don't really know how far it's gonna pull back and whatnot. Now we might be coming up to these levels. If we come all the way up here, I'll probably look for shorts later. Look here. I'll look for some more shorts. It's look how I reacted off of that. That's why I love this level, man. Look at that. That is just perfect. This probably right here would have been a good long in the future, but not right now. DXY is going up now. Definitely close to that buy stops up here. We did take out. Let me just do this. Strong displacement to the upside right there. 930 just drops down a little bit, boom, and runs some buy stops. So Um, I'll get rid of these fibs on here for a second. Put a little cleaner in there. All right, let's plug this bad baby in. Really want to see if we can make it inside of here, and then hopefully we don't start ranging. Hopefully we get that run up higher, displacement down, pull back, and a continuation. And that buy stops might avoid this again, that daily high right there, and that daily wick. It might just start to invert this fair value gap. Let me just go to the daily real quick to show this. And we have that wick right there. So I want to see if this runs inside of here and then probably start running away. Or we're just going to keep these highs protected and then just drop back inside the range. Which I prefer that not to do that yet. I would like to see if this can push up into here and then try to push down again. Now end this at 10 macro, at the end of the macro. There we go. Tapped into that. Now, now, this is where I like to see this get bearish. Actually, let me put this here. And we are within this macro, or heading into the macro soon, so might get that push down, displacement, and whatnot. But DXY is pushing up a little bit. Inside this bearish inefficiency, took out some good highs over here. We have today, took out previous day high here, so we might try to get bearish. We also took out these relative equal highs up in here, so we might try to pull back or continue after all this. This might just be for a pullback to then continue higher, because we do have higher inefficiencies that target up here. Yeah. Yes, pushing up strong. And Q steady pushing up strong. Had this mean accumulation in here, and then 9:30 finally break out. This is what I've been waiting for, man. Now I'm thinking tomorrow and the next week gonna be 10 times better. 10 times better, man. I'm gonna be. And if I go to the 400, for example, we've been in this range damn near since, well, I'll say this entire range for the longest. Finally getting up in here, that daily wick, taking out these relative equal highs all in here. So then we have all this larger accumulation that's been going on really since, oh, this is Monday, and then Tuesday. Yeah, basically, essentially since Tuesday, been in this range. This is, yeah, it's basically the new day. Since Tuesday, we sort of been just chopping. Really no high probabilities set up in the morning session. Well, actually, I've pretty much been chopping since last week. When you think about it, this is last week, and then this is the new week up in here. This is Monday trading, Tuesday's trading, Wednesday's trade, and then Thursday finally break out. So essentially been ranging for about a week. Finally got out of there. Now we might end up getting it set up later on, which I don't mind taking. Like it's high probability. I don't mind going outside of my sessions for high probability trade setups if they present themselves later on. If they don't, it ain't no trade. That's like my only exception to like Training outside of my time. Man, let's see though. Let's see if we get some type of play out here. Let me go to the daily real quick. Let's go to the daily. I want to put the fibs on this. Okay. So let's see if we can stay and work in the lower half of that wick and then probably form something. So I want to see some type of displacement and continuation. And I'll get us to the end of the macro and then I'll go ahead and wrap this little stream up. Been going for 2 hours and 19 minutes. All right, let's see what we got going on. Man, so far, gotta push down, reacting off that lower quadrant level right here. But the only thing is we have this large refinement and efficiency. So I'd rather see us try to close below the midpoint of this, which is in a sense at the low. I like to see us close like below that inefficiency. You could possibly see a trade back to these levels in here. And then we got these smooth lows in here. We just came to the midpoint of that opening range, or that the regular trading hours opening range midpoint, but I'm using my 7:30 opening range because it's just as valid to me. 9:57, about to be 10 a.m. New hourly candle about to open up in 3 minutes. So, yeah. I already know we took out. I'll keep this. This could just be a straight up day, right? That's typically what happens with 9:30. Once it open up, I mean, sometimes it gives you that Judah swing back down once we take out buy stops, like here, and then start working its way down. But we might try to run around inside of this wick. And if we do that, then I'll just go ahead and wait and see. Once we get above here and close above this going into tomorrow, then this can be set for a continuation. Probably use this previous day wick, or not the previous day wick, but use this wick for the next day to then possibly aim for either one of these buy stops here. So it look like most definitely we want to aim for all-time highs at this point. So we had this huge drop down, and now this nice V shape back up to the upside, which is indicating back for all-time highs. More than likely trying to catch up with ES. Because if we look at ES, DXY is going back down. If we look at ES is hitting all-time highs again. And we've been here for quite a bit, since a while now. So, yeah, and you definitely might want to try to catch up with ES. But we do have this for ES. Got that buy stops there. And that was taken. And that candle. Now it's 10 a.m. So the hourly closed above that high right here. And a 4 hour. 4 hour. And every time frame below closed below. Or, yeah, closed above it, I meant. 5 minute, 2, 3 minute, 1 minute. So this can be an extremely bullish day. And if that's the case, then let it just go. And there's nothing we can do. But ES, I mean, ES didn't even really, and besides this little movement here, could have got like maybe a potential scalp if you just enter as soon as we. That's why I'm like, sometimes fair value gaps, you want to see them left open, which is why I prefer to get in when they close, because they're not going to always run into the fair value gap. Even this one would have been okay, considering we closed back inside of this range, and then we obviously have a drawn liquidity right here, and then we have more lows over here. So don't always focus on the main low. You can focus on other lows in here, and then we have this fair value gap in here. So maybe got an entry there, target there, there. But if we got 8:15 news candle, then prefer to like wait on that. Let's see what. I mean, what he didn't even do. He didn't even probably say much or do much. So guess we'll keep that for next time. keep note of that. Um, Now this particular situation with NQ, this might shape up later, so I might just go ahead and end it here and come back a little later and see what this kind of shapes up. Because ain't no point in just looking at this all the way to 10, 15, or at the end of the macro. Rather just stop it, I'm going or end it right here, or at least like, yeah. Let's see if it reached the midpoint. That's kind of what I want to wait for. I want to see if it can reach that point. Okay, ES one more time. ES is just pumping too. So what do you do? Nothing. Hey, where'd my phone go? Oh. Go ahead and end it here. Nothing else to really go over. Just staying just pushing up. Definitely looking like it's gonna reach that level, but I'm gonna go ahead and just call it a day.